Hi everyone, welcome to this video that is all about getting from $0 to 10K in your art business. I'm Liz Kohler Brown. I'm a surface designer and hand letterer who loves helping people find their style and sell their work. I'm going to share all about how I got my business off the ground and give you some strategies that I think could help any art business get from 0 to 10K. We're going to talk about what strategies make money fast, what actually wastes your time, and what mindset issues are common with creatives. And probably the biggest question that you're all asking, which is where should you start? I want to start with a little bit of the history because I think it's important for you all to know where I started and where I'm coming from, so you can kind of reflect if that's similar to the path you want to take or if you want to go in a totally different direction. First of all, my creative business hit 10K after about 2.5 years of part-time work, and that was happening from 2016 to 2018. At that time, it was 100% print on demand. I was not teaching at all at this point, and I slowly scaled up the time I spent on it as the income grew. My first year was actually under 1K, so the second year was a pretty big leap. And of course, not everyone has the same timeline. I did want to point that out though, because a lot of people ask me the question, how long does it take to make money from your art? And I think that can be all over the board and depends so much on your style, your strategy, how you concentrate your efforts, so many different variables. I've literally seen people spend 1 year and go from 0 to 100K, and I've seen people spend 5 years and not even make $1,000. So it's all over the board, you guys, and it's all about strategy. It's not about you being some creative visionary who has some magical talent that's going to get you rich. It's all strategy, you guys. And there are people out there with very little creative skills making a full-time income from creative work because they have a good strategy. So here's my simple process that I used in the beginning and I still use to this day when I introduce a new income stream to my business. Number 1 is explore and experiment. This is where you try everything that interests you and you keep an open mind. So when I'm diving into a new platform, even today, that is where I start. I explore with everything I can possibly imagine. I allow myself to play and put zero pressure on it to make money, because in the beginning, most of the stuff you try is not going to make money, but then there's going to be a few things that hit just right, and those are the things we're going to focus on. So I call those proof, and we're looking for that proof. We're looking for sales, even small ones, that serve as proof that your strategy is working. Then we're going to double down on that thing. We're going to put more time, more ad spend, and more focus into what is working. If it continues to work, we're going to quadruple down. Is that even a phrase? Once you know that something is working, you go all in. You don't mess around with all of the other things that are half or even a quarter working. Then and only then would I recommend introducing new income streams. This is where I think a lot of artists go wrong in the early days. They think, well, look at that successful artist who has 10 different income streams. I need to be like that person, so I need to have 10 income streams. But what every single artist I've ever met and interviewed in my membership has told me is that they started with one thing, sometimes just one product, not even just one sales channel, but one product, one tag that they knew was helping them get found, one SEO strategy. You can't start with 10 things. It needs to be one thing at a time. And yes, you do need to diversify your business, but not from the beginning. From the beginning, you need to do the opposite of diversify, and that is hyper focus on the one thing that is working from all your experimentation. So let's rewind on those steps a little bit so we can dig a little deeper into the details. First of all, when I said you need proof that something's working, the question is, what is proof exactly? Number 1, I would call it sales from non-friends and family. These are random people out in the world who don't know you and are not buying something because they love you or out of the kindness of their heart. Also notice if multiple sales are on the same design or theme. That is telling you something about that design. Also, multiple non-friends and family asking where they can buy the thing. And if you're selling locally, you might be selling out locally, and that would be a good sign as well. I still remember my very first sales on Spoonflower, and they were like $5 or $10. I mean, almost nothing. Probably wouldn't even buy you a latte at that time. But it was still, for me, proof that there were random people out there who did not know me, who were finding my designs, buying them, and then some of them were coming back and buying more. I was really paying attention to my sales in those early days, looking at usernames and seeing, wow, this person keeps coming back and back. Oh, that's a business name. I need to go say hi to them. Kind of nurturing those early sales, making sure you're understanding where they're coming from, what designs they're going to, and keeping track of all that. Before we go any further, let's talk about time wasters, because they are out there sucking our time and preventing us from being successful. Number one, uploading thousands of designs to a platform that has not proven to make you money. I really want to point this out because I know that there's a lot of people out there who are trying to follow strategies that they learn online. Someone told them that this, and would work, and they do it, and it doesn't work, but they keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And I've interviewed plenty of people who have thousands of designs in their Spoonflower shop, Society 6 shop, whatever, and have never made a sale. And for me, if you've put a few hundred designs up and haven't sold anything, abandon ship or abandon strategy. It's time to change your strategy so that you are getting found. One of the ways that I like to do that is by using SEO. I only make designs centered around SEO so that I know, first of all, that I'm going to get found before anything else. I share that whole process in my class on SEO, and you can watch that with a free trial to my membership. So if you don't even know what SEO is and you're like, what does that even mean? You might want to check that out. The next time waster is doing what everyone else is doing. Just because it's working for other artists does not mean it's going to work for your style and your niche. You really need to find something that works for you. Focusing on social media, I think, is a big time waster. It is an engagement thing. It is not a sales thing. I don't think a lot of people are making a ton of sales through social media. So if you need to abandon something, I would recommend that. Selling online and making non-searchable designs. We just talked about SEO, you guys. I think you get the point. The whole strategy around print on demand should be to make designs that can be found in search. And if you're not starting with search terms, your designs are not going to get found no matter how gorgeous they are. And the last time waster is sites that give very little sales or traffic data. I have used a lot of different ways of selling my work over the years, and I compare them and choose the ones that are best for me. And I can tell you what's best for me is having the most amount of data. I get really tired of platforms that send me like, here's your $20, we had 10 sales. Of what? Like, they won't even tell you what design. So the more data you get, the better. So if you're sitting there comparing the different platforms you're on, take a look at who is giving you the most data, because that's going to be where the most information is that you need to make good decisions. So let's talk about some mindset issues that I have noticed are a pattern with a lot of very creative people. Number one, you aren't willing to make what sells because you don't want to compromise your style. I totally get this, you guys. I love my style. I love my creative freedom, and I use it all the time. But I also want money. I want to feed my children and have clothes and a car and health insurance and all of those things that I need to be healthy and happy. So a lot of my time is spent on my bread and butter work, which is designs that I don't necessarily love. I'm good at making them though, and I focus on SEO. I make designs that I know will sell. I work with licensors and companies that, I'm not making my dream work, but I'm making money so that when I do have a week off here and there, I can make my dream work and do my fun projects that I don't care if they make money or not. I'm going to do whatever I want. So all that to say, I recommend you separate those two things. Get your bread and butter going first. then you get that luxury of doing your whatever you want time on your own time and setting up those dream projects without the pressure of making money from them. A lot of people tell me they don't want to do the boring thing. They want to do the fun thing. The boring things are like tags, titles, and descriptions on your print-on-demand listings. I know that's boring, you guys. It's super boring, but now we have AI. It's a lot easier to get those tags, titles, and descriptions. So we really don't have an excuse anymore. We used to before AI came around. I know everyone's going to get mad at me for saying AI, but here's the thing. 99% of my audience is women who are super busy and tired, a lot of moms, a lot of grandmas. If we can save 20, 30 minutes, we're going to. That's just my reality. I'm sorry if that upsets somebody, but it is what it is. You're not stealing someone's work when you make tags, titles, and descriptions for your print-on-demand stuff using AI. That's all I'm going to say. Next, people tell me they aren't looking at their numbers because it's depressing. I kind of find that funny because when my numbers were at their lowest is when I was most excited. When I was making like $10 a month for my designs, I was like, oh my gosh, there are people on earth who are finding my designs and buying them. This is absolutely insane. So I would say if your numbers are super low, try to get jazzed about the fact that, hey, something's working. Now, if your numbers are zero, something's not working and you need a new strategy. Don't necessarily blame your work. It's probably your strategy. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. Next, you're playing it safe because you don't think you're good enough to make money from your art. I've also met a lot of creatives over the years who have that proof. They've made a few sales here and there. They're doing great on a few different platforms, and all they're doing now is introducing more platforms. I guess I got to be on Pinterest. I guess I got to be on Etsy. I guess I got to be on Spoonflower. And all they're doing is adding complexity, but they're not looking at their proof and saying, okay, how could I really go deep on this? How could I deeply explore this thing that's working? Rather than trying to be the everything person, just be the one thing person for a while until I get that income going. So where in the world do you start, especially if you're starting from zero or a low number? I would say the sweet spot here is where your interest meets the market. So what do you like to do and what platforms will allow you to do that? I would also recommend you find a niche, don't invent a niche. There are so many niches out there that are already proven to be selling. We don't need to be creative in everything we do, like creating niches. We need to just use what's already selling and put our own style on it. Also, low commitment gets small results and big commitment gets big results, which is why we can't spread ourselves thin with 100 different platforms. Start with that one thing that stands out to you right now and fully explore it before moving on. I want to note here that I have a guide called Sell Your Stuff that has 100 different ways to sell your art. It's a freebie. It's digital or printed. You can choose. I highlighted 14 successful artists in there who share their stories. And I share a lot about my story and my thinking on selling your work, my trajectory. So if you're truly feeling like, I just don't even know where to start, there's just too many options, I don't know where to go, this I think will help you start narrowing down, like, what do you love doing? What do you enjoy doing? And what are the platforms that are allowing artists to monetize it? It's question time. This is the part of the video where I answer a question from someone who left me a comment under a previous video. Now, this is going to seem like an unrelated question, but this is super related to our topic today. This person says, this is probably a stupid question, but after you wrench, share your JPEG, where do you save it? I don't have an option that says save to JPEG. I have cloud, files, shared family album. Thank you for the great tutorial. This is not a dumb question. This is actually, I think, one of the most important questions that every artist who wants to monetize their work needs to answer right now. And that is, where are you going to save your work and how are you going to save it? Because let's say, I'll give you my example, you build up a Spoonflower shop and you're rocking it. You're making a full-time income from your Spoonflower shop. And you're like, hey, I'm a smart person. I'm going to take my designs from Spoonflower, put them over on this other platform, see how they do over there. So I'm getting double the sales with only one part of the work. Now, that requires being organized with your files, right? Personally, I use Dropbox. This is not sponsored. Dropbox isn't paying me, although if you want to, you can. I'm not going to complain about that. But I love Dropbox because it's just simple. It's bare bones. It's just folders, y'all. First, I would talk about a structure for yourself. And my structure, it's not perfect, but if I was going to design the perfect structure, I would definitely do it first by year. So go ahead, whatever year you're watching this, currently 2025, make your 2025 folder. That's your main folder. Within those folders, make your collection or your artwork platform, whatever you're working on, make a folder for that. So you might have a Spoonflower folder. You might have a certain pattern collection folder. You might have a licensing folder. But this is the time to start thinking about how to organize your files, because every single piece of artwork you create is an asset to your business. But if you're being disorganized and it's all over the place, it's harder to go from 0 to 10,000. So go ahead and get organized right now. Just decide how your folder structure is going to be and stick to it forever. I wasted a lot of time doing that. Don't be like me. Be organized from day one and get your files in order. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember to pick up that Sell Your Stuff guide right below this video. And if you liked this one, you might also like the only print-on-demand platform that shows what you're selling video, and my podcast video about how to stop hoarding your art, overcome perfectionism, and share your work. I'll see you all next time. Bye.